Do you know the story of a doll that changes her clothes every morning without anyone touching her? It's called Nancy, a porcelain doll found in a decaying attic in England, with glossy blue eyes that never blink. Locals whisper that her previous owner disappeared after dressing her one final time. The strange part: each dawn, Nancy's outfit changes, matching the mood of whoever sleeps nearby. Nancy was bought at an estate sale by a collector named Amelia, who specialized in antique dolls. She placed Nancy on a wooden shelf among hundreds of others, but something about this one felt alive. Every night she swore she heard faint rustling fabric, like a dress being unfolded in the dark. The first morning, Amelia woke to find Nancy wearing a bright red Victorian gown, completely different from the plain blue dress she remembered. She thought maybe she was mistaken, but when she tried to find the red dress in her collection, it didn't exist anywhere. By the third night, the pattern grew clearer. Every morning at exactly 3:07 a.m., Nancy's clothes changed. Amelia set up a camera, determined to catch the mystery. But when she checked the footage, the doll never moved. Only her outfit did, between one frame and the next. Amelia tried locking Nancy inside a glass display case. The next day, Nancy stood inside the same case, but in a white funeral dress, her porcelain hands pressed against the glass as if she wanted out. That night, Amelia dreamed of a young girl crying, whispering, "She wore my dress." When Amelia awoke, she found a child's photograph beside Nancy, one that hadn't been there before. Desperate for answers, Amelia traced Nancy's origin to Blackwood Orphanage, burned down in 1894. Records listed a girl named Nancy, who died wearing a red gown sewn from torn curtains. The caretaker at the orphanage ruins warned her, "Nancy changes to remember who she was, and who she's taken." Amelia left trembling, her car radio glitching with a child's voice humming an old lullaby. Back home, the doll now wore Amelia's favorite nightgown. It fit perfectly, too perfectly. Terrified, Amelia burned all the doll's clothes, but the next morning, Nancy appeared in the same nightgown again, spotless and new. Every morning after, Nancy's outfit became more personal. Amelia's childhood dress, her mother's wedding gown, her sister's scarf. It was as if the doll was stealing pieces of her past. One night, Amelia whispered, "Who are you?" The doll's lips parted slightly, whispering back in a child's voice, "You dressed me wrong." The next morning, Amelia was gone. Only her robe lay folded neatly on the chair, and Nancy now wore it, smiling faintly. When police arrived, they found 13 different outfits on the floor, each belonging to a missing person. The doll was sent to evidence storage, sealed in a metal box. But the next day, the box was empty. Only a single hairpin and a folded note remained. She changed again. Rumors spread online. People claimed to see Nancy appear in thrift stores, each time in a new dress, waiting quietly for her next owner. A month later, a teenage girl named Lily found Nancy at a flea market. The vendor swore it just appeared that morning. Lily loved vintage things and brought the doll home, placing it near her vanity mirror. That night, she dreamed of someone trying on her clothes, buttons snapping, fabric tearing softly. Lily woke up gasping. Nancy now wore Lily's favorite floral dress, one that had been hanging inside her closed wardrobe. When Lily touched it, the fabric was still warm. That evening, Lily's mother scolded her for leaving clothes scattered everywhere. But when she tried to pick them up, she froze. Each outfit was arranged in the shape of a body. Lily hid Nancy in the closet, but the next morning the door was wide open. The doll sat on her bed wearing a school uniform, her school uniform. Panicking, Lily recorded the doll overnight. At 3:07 a.m., her camera flickered. For 1 second, Nancy's reflection in the mirror turned toward the lens, smiling. The next morning, Lily's reflection was gone from the mirror. Only Nancy's face looked back. Days later, Lily's parents found her missing. Only the doll remained, dressed exactly like Lily in her last school photo. Authorities labeled Nancy as a cursed artifact. Paranormal investigators took her for research. They placed her in a glass chamber surrounded by cameras and salt lines. But the next morning, Nancy wore a white lab coat, just like the lead researcher, Dr. Reed. The man fainted when the doll's hair turned brown, matching his wife's. When the team tried to remove the coat, They found it stitched into the porcelain, thread pulling straight into her skin like veins. Cameras captured something no one could explain. Between 3:06 and 3:08 a.m., the doll vanished, then reappeared facing the other way, holding a small piece of fabric soaked in blood. The lab was abandoned soon after, and Nancy disappeared again. But months later, she surfaced in Japan, sold online under the name Ghost Wardrobe Doll. Her new owner, a young artist named Corey, used her as inspiration for paintings. Each morning, the doll wore outfits from Corey's imagination before Corey could even finish sketching them. Corey's fans loved the paintings, until they noticed that the doll's clothes in her artwork began matching Corey's daily outfits perfectly, even when she didn't post them. One night, Corey's live stream froze mid-broadcast. In the frozen frame, the doll stood behind her, wearing Corey's unfinished dress, while Corey's chair sat empty. Police later found the doll alone in Kaori's studio, dressed exactly as she was before vanishing. Her last painting? A mirror portrait of Nancy smiling through Kaori's eyes. Collectors tried to destroy Nancy. Fire, water, acid, nothing worked. Her clothes always changed again the next sunrise, spotless and new. Now Nancy is said to move across continents. Every few months a new report appears, doll found wearing owner's missing outfit. Some claim she feeds on identity. Each outfit she steals erases one more trace of who you were. Experts warn, if you see an antique doll that changes clothes by itself, never keep it near your room. Never name it, and never look at it in the mirror after 3 a.m. Some nights people report waking to rustling fabric and cold air brushing their neck. They say it feels like someone trying on their clothes in the dark. Others claim Nancy's reflection appears briefly in mirrors, wearing what you wore yesterday, staring back with a faint, knowing grin. Even now, Nancy's whereabouts are unknown, but every morning somewhere in the world, a doll changes its clothes, exactly at 3:07 a.m. So tonight, if you wake and hear fabric moving, don't turn on the light, because she changes faster when she knows you're watching. They say Nancy's curse spreads through screens now. The moment you watch her story, she notices you. So tell me, what are you wearing right now?